I feel terrible. And I actually just came on here today to say that. I want to share this experience with you guys, particularly if you are going through a time right now where you are feeling terrible for whatever reason. Then sit with me for a couple of minutes because we need to talk about this. I feel terrible, and I have for a couple of weeks now, more than a couple of weeks, and nothing is going wrong. In fact, everything is actually better than ever. Better than I could have hoped for. Things are progressing so beautifully for me, and opportunities keep presenting themselves to the point that I just can't keep up, and I'm so incredibly grateful. And still, I feel terrible. And this seeming incongruence between how I feel right now and what I'm going through sort of internally, physically, physiologically, and my situation is exactly what I want to talk to you guys about. Because I notice a dangerous, detrimental thing that happens in my mind whenever I don't feel good, whenever I don't feel physically good or energetic or optimistic. What happens is I start to look at myself and the situation because I feel this way and I think I must be being unhealthy. I must be doing something wrong. Something must be about to go wrong. Something is wrong here, right? Indicated by the fact that I don't feel good. And these thoughts, these interpretations of the situation are thought errors. These are errors in my thinking, and I want to bring these to the front of your mind too, so you can catch them in yourself. If you are having a time of not feeling good, physically or energetically, emotionally, not feeling good, and you notice, I want you to actually check, look for these thoughts in your mind. Is your mind making that mean that something's going wrong? That this indicates that something's going wrong? Because here's the thing. Everything can be going perfectly right. Everything can be perfectly on track and exactly how you want it to be. And you can still feel terrible. This is the natural cycle of life, that sometimes we will feel good, great. Sometimes we will feel neutral, and sometimes we will feel terrible. And all of these things on this spectrum are normal. They're a normal cycle in our human life. And we do these mini cycles over and over and over again. Often for me, these cycles will happen in smaller chunks, right? I'll have a day of not feeling good, or a couple of days, or a couple of hours, a couple of seconds, and then my state will change. But it's when I notice that this becomes more than a couple of days that I start to have these thoughts of panic come up. That seems to be the time where my mind starts to judge and worry that something's going wrong. But I'm here today capturing this with you. We're doing this together, recognizing that you cannot feel great for even a couple of weeks. And it doesn't have to be pathologized. Yes, of course, there can be pathologies behind these states. And that's why I went to my doctor the other day. And I would encourage you guys as well, if it's nothing seemingly acute, but it's dragging out for a bit more time than what is usual for you, it's always good, and there's essentially nothing lost by going to see your doctor, of course. And after you've safety netted yourself that way, it is okay to not feel good. I can list off all the reasons right now that it's reasonable for me to not feel good. Having high emotional and physiological demands as a part of my life getting better and upgrading, stepping into these new challenges and new demands of myself. And the natural, inevitable fear and anxiety that can come up with that then I need to manage myself while I adjust to this new level of performance and risk. And even grief and loss. All normal, beautiful, challenging parts of life, paired with not quite being able to create enough space for me to optimally take care of myself and do absolutely everything I do. Like I couldn't shut down my life, or rather I didn't want to shut down my life for a couple of weeks to rest and introspect and do exactly what I needed to do. I didn't want to. I wanted to keep going with all these other beautiful, brilliant things that were happening. And with that, it is normal to end up in this position. And now we just need to rebalance that. Now we just need to bump up in our priorities, giving ourselves what we need to recover from this period, or just be present with ourselves as a first step in this period. So my beautiful friends, it is not normal to be at peak, optimal, physical, energetic, emotional level, performance all the time. We would like to think that, and I know that we want that. And as much as it is great to want that and to strive for that, the problem that can come with that is we can make the opposite, when we're not at peak, a problem when it's not. Thus, escalating the problem. Panicking about the panic, stressing about the stress, being sad about the sadness, being depressed about the depression. Emotional depression I'm talking about here, not clinical. So, it is okay to feel terrible for a while. Let yourself feel terrible without judging it and making it a problem and desperately trying to escape it. This is a part of a normal human experience. And certainly for me, it is a part of the biggest, best human experience, where I am expanding and I am loving and I am connecting and I am living my life personally to the fullest. This is a part of it too. Feeling terrible. The next time you don't feel good, just watch your mind and see if you find any thought errors in there about anything other than that peak optimal performance, meaning that there's some kind of problem. And create some space to allow yourself to have the other aspects of the human experience. The seasons, the night, the day, the ascent, the descent, life and death. These are the cycles of our human lives. If this video was meaningful for you today, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss one of my weekly videos. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in my next one.